Michael, very highly. HJ than you, thanks for the 300 bits. And also, what a small, incredibly small world it is that you used to live next to them. Like, literally, you lived in the subdivision my grandma and grandpa lived in. Well, my grandpa passed away in 2001 and my grandma in 2012. But you were literally... I don't know if you were around because you were younger, but... It probably would have been before my time. So, but we got to get into the charts, guys. It's crazy, but I want to say hi to everybody. Conrad, what's going on? Welcome. Appreciate that. The best TA. Cyber with the popcorn. Fur Babies reporting in from Florida, watching the Tigers. And oh, nice. How are the old Tigers doing? They haven't been very good lately for many, many years. Terry, I'm so proud to be a part of Tom's Horn. I appreciate that. Flux notes. So I just found out today that my finance's parents have $700,000 USD invested in stock, and I want them to fuck out of the market stock and convince them to buy all of that. And Bitcoin and Ethereum, obviously, when it bottomed out, or dog, I was able to be in a call with them and convince them. Whoa! Yeah, they've got to be very careful about that. But can I ask you an honest question? Why Bitcoin and Ethereum at the bottom and not, oh, I don't know, XDC and XRP or Algo, IOTA, XLM? I just out of curiosity. I'm just curious. This is the XRP Future Millionaire talking. I'm not judging. I'm just asking. Because I'd be worried about telling them to put... Although if Bitcoin's way down and it's not out, you know, but... I'd be... Oof. I do think it's not bad advice, though, to get them out of the stock market. Terry, welcome. 396 TSI. I already said hi to Terry. 396 TSI, welcome. Axis, welcome. TK Shaw, welcome in. Sterling Ray X, appreciate the goat. I love hearing that. Never gets old, never gets old. Cyber Center, welcome. Axis, Pizza Breath is awesome. Great supporter of the show. He was the very first person to ever gift a sub or anything. Like he got the ball rolling on donations. Axis, welcome. Storm Patrol, welcome and thanks for the bits. Mvolt, welcome. Michael. Axis, welcome. I know I said hi to Cyber. HJ then you, welcome and thank you for the bits. Fur Babies, welcome. It's 6-0 and in a rain delay. So I'm assuming that the Tigers are down 6-0. Sean, welcome in, my main man from Maine. What's going on? Okay, so you just listened to my message. So we can absolutely, we're going to go over XRP and we're going to talk about what we talked about in the message. No problem, Storm Patrol. Bitcoin has no utility while XRP. Exactly, that's my thing. That's why I always ask people that are going to advise, you know, I mean, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Sterling Ray, welcome in. So XRP, I know I go through a long thing, and if I lose people, I lose people. But I think it's the right thing to do to acknowledge each and every person that comes in and shows the support. That's just something I like to do. So, Kaylee Kings, welcome in. Sterling Ray X, welcome in. Appreciate you tuning in. So, first we'll start with Bitcoin. So our hype trains ended. We had 3 gift subs and 900 bits. I really appreciate that, everybody. That was a quick hype train today. So, when we talk about if we should short the market, we have 29,223, but we have our pattern drawn out. So we're in a descending triangle, if we look at this logically. But I also want to acknowledge we could also be doing this. So there is a small chance. All right, so let's put it this way. And this is why I think I'm the best in the business. So if we break this resistance and hold it as support, we're coming up here. Clear as day, we'll come up here and retest that 30K area. If we get rejected by here, Kenny, welcome in. One of the oldest and longest viewing members that I have in the audience. Welcome, Kenny. I wouldn't touch Bitcoin either, me personally. Appreciate the neutral support of 2T. Yep, that's what I try to do, Axis. Star, welcome in, love. So awesome. Jan, welcome in as well. Awesome to see everybody in here. Star, love, welcome in. I really appreciate it. I do so much. So what we're looking at here is we have the resistance in this small descending triangle, which if we play it the other way, it's almost like an inside-out wedge, which if the reason I say that is this is just the same thing as this. or what we see there, it's just inside out. So look at it backwards. So now if Bitcoin breaks this, and it's a much easier way. So if Bitcoin breaks this, you'd come up here if it holds this as support, or just breaks it. So right now, though, we're looking to get rejected here. It's a perfect spot at around 29,307. And then to play it back down to 28,500 area. But if that ever breaks, we'll come down to 28,000. But I think because the much wider pattern, if we break this out into, because I like to break it down so people can see. So I've got it in every possible thing that's going on. So then if we break that little area we talked about, then we would immediately come down to 25,000. But if we break that, 25.4, we'd come down in the area. It's about 23.5, 24,000. If it breaks that, then we go to the ascending triangle support at 22,347. So that's the scenario right now. That's the immediate supports we need to understand. And if we do it in the right spot, we can come all the way down to 18,498. But that's after all this support is broken down. So does that make sense to everybody? Because it's a lot to take in with Bitcoin. But if you pay attention to what I'm showing, I have everything that can possibly happen. So we can see layer by layer by layer by layer. Redwire, welcome in. Appreciate you tuning in. But we still have to acknowledge we have a bearish divergence on Bitcoin that's already been started. We had a 20 cross to 50, and it looks like 100 is going to cross. I believe we're going to go down this weekend. And I'm looking for a short. I'm looking for a short in XRP. Like I said, I did some silver and gold, so I have 700. I don't know what it is. We'll look when I go on there, but I'm shorting the whole amount. XRP has the 20. Sean, you'll be proud of me. I bought some silver today. Well, I'm trying through Bitcoin. I did $300 in Bitcoin just to see. So thank you, Kenny, and it's good seeing you in here. Good seeing you in here. And with XRP, much like I showed you the multiple levels on Bitcoin, so in the immediate short term with XRP, so what we have, the ascending triangle, it finally broke. May 26th it held. May 27th it held. June 7th it held. June 10th it breaks. Now we have a back test of the 20-day. Now we look to see if we have either a second back test or if we just break down. Because the flip of the clock just happened at 8, I wouldn't be surprised. I would love to see it hit this broken trend line. It's graded at the 20-day. But with the lack of volume, how often do you see a quick reversal and it actually comes back up to the busted trend line, and this ends up being the false short attempt, then it liquidates everybody out, and then it bounces off of that and makes this crazy little M pattern. We see that a lot in this crypto game. That's why I want to see that back test, and if we can get up here, I would love to short this. That's why I said, Sean, like, with your position, once it proves that as resistance, and the problem is the 20-day, it could use that, but a lot of times it comes back up here and touches this blue line. It really does. But there's no guarantee. The sell should be, obviously, when it breaks through here, but we want to make sure it back tests properly because it hasn't moved that much. But once it confirms this, and it's already confirmed, I believe, our Batman top. So now we go into, that's the USDT for the KuCoin trading. But now let's go into the XRP USDT for the actual pattern. So XRP, that's for the short-term pattern. Now we go to the longer-term pattern here. We had the bearish cross in USD. All we have to do is come through the 200-day. We have 3 straight weeks where we're kind of bottoming out here. But we have broken from one level back up, back down. So I think we're going to get an impulse move this weekend. And I think we're going to end up back around this 33,742. So that's what I want to short down to. I want to have a short coming from, and it doesn't matter to me if it's from 38.8 or 38.1 or this. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Because right now you're like, what the hell are you talking about? So the ideal spot for me is this to back test a little bit and have a short right here. But I don't mind. Okay, see, this is the second layer here. This is what we have to pay attention to. Because it could get rejected here as well. But it already completed the divergence. So wouldn't it make perfect sense in the 3-minute? We haven't had enough volume to pull us down. So to come up here to find more volume to bring us down. And then we might dance between the levels. You know, that would make sense to me. That would make perfect sense to me. But at the same time, I'm looking to buy in to a short, a lengthy short, not just I'm going to sell out when it gets to 30. I mean, a lengthy short down to the bottom of this pattern. I want to get down to the bottom of the pattern. So this short, let's just say it happens and it comes back up to back test this right here where it finally broke this after all this time. So from there down to the trend line only is 11.82%. 11.82%. Now, I 20x. So on a 20x trade, you can see where that would be. So I might, depending on the volatility, put it to a 10x just so I have more leverage, like leniency or more wiggle room. But I want to do a 20x trade if I can pinpoint this. I just think right now it's the trap candle, and now it's got a back test. We've never back tested the broken trend line yet. And like I said, we failed to break it multiple times going back to May of this year, and then June of this year, earlier this month, or 3 days ago. And then today we finally broke it. Now, typically, not always, you have a back test of this broken, now this ascending support. So I think we need it. And then if we break that, the first layer down is the much wider pattern, which is first the ascending triangle and then the symmetrical triangle. So the first support you'd fall down to, and that's why it's already tailor-made for us, is about 34.2 if it breaks this. So if it breaks this area, we're coming down to 34.2, and that's about 13% or 11%. If it breaks this, let's say it breaks it, back test it, then it's coming all, the next move is all the way down. It can come here, but this would just be a stopping ground at 17.3. It's not true support. It's just an area where it wicked down one time and it held as uptrending support. But the bottom would actually be the true support, and it's about 11.1, 11.2. Jake, welcome in. The longest OG of them all. Sharing the Tom's Army emote and the TFAM badge. Let's go. Welcome in, Jake. How's it going, my friend? Yep, Pizza Breath. He gave J-Legs a gift sub. See, he's here. He's here. Is the blue line at 40 cents for an XRP to retest the ascending triangle? It is at, so in the USDT. And another question is, do you like how I have this layered in USDT so we can see all the ranges? But you see how we had big sell volume, not a lot of sell volume right now? It's only because it's the beginning of the candle, so don't let it fool anybody. So, but we typically would have a pull up and then it's, you know, and then it can come down. So the support here is 38,789 on USD. But then on the USDT, where I would be buying based on KuCoin's chart, it would be 38,831 is back testing the ascending triangle support as resistance. And once that happens, it gets very, very interesting. Because once XRP breaks that support, here, I'll do it on the KuCoin one as well so you guys can see the way it would fall down. So it would come here. There's two different areas, real quick, that you can flag it out in, because then you can be like, all right, that's the first step, then the second step. These are the two layers that it has to break, and then you can break out the bigger pattern, which I already have made, but this is what we need to break. We can do it from here to make it easier, but that's what we need to break. That's what we're looking to break. We're looking to break that. And if you draw this out just like that, and I know it gets kind of fuzzy and messy and all this other crap, but if you draw this out, you can see it's a bear flag. That's a bear flag. Whoops. That's a bear flag, guys. That's a bear flag. A tailor-made bear flag that has no choice. It's already back-tested. 1, 2... It's not even hit this. Well, we can come up and hit this properly because this is our first hit of support. So it's hit it right there on the uptrend. So in this little area, we've only hit support once. You need twice to confirm the pattern. So once, twice, once right here we'll call it because I can pull it up a little bit more. In fact, I will just so nobody can say it's not hitting it, Tom. What are you talking about, Tom? It's not hit. You're full of shit, Tom. Well, Tom, you are. So That's what I'm seeing. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Does it make sense? Do you like how I've got it like Inception style, how we break down within pattern into the pattern into the pattern? Because I thoroughly understand the pattern. So now I feel like I'm going to put in a long short position. I mean a short, but for a long period of time until it hits the bottom. I'm not interested in selling until it does. But I'm not doing it until it properly backtests. I just want to make sure that makes sense to everybody. I appreciate the 54 people being here, and I know I seen a donation while I was going off in that little talk. CW5000, welcome in. I'm glad to see you in here. I'm going to go back over the XRP chart because it's very important. I'm going to tell you exactly what I told everybody else. To Byron, 29, thanks for the 401 bits. That's incredibly generous. Hey, Axis, I appreciate that so much. Jake, extremely tired and got a headache. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jake. Hopefully you can get some rest. I know it's awfully late there already. It's got to be, what, 1 a.m.? Axis, I appreciate that. JMF Tracy, alrighty. And CMF 5000, thanks for the 500 bits. That's awesome. Yeah, now, the reason I'm saying, and it might not happen, but the reason why I think it's going to hit it, it hasn't technically... Okay, so it back-tested the 20-day, but I think this is a lot of times when it only does this and doesn't have a breakout through and actually stays true to this. This is a fake-out candle when people think they should go short. And then you know how it works with leverage. Let's say they bought in here. That's a liquidation candle of bigger leverage, and if it comes back up over the top, it can be a problem. So all I'm saying is it's not guaranteed, but that's not a lot of sell volume to get out of this area. What I'm theorizing is it comes back up here, and we're better off shorting around 38,849, especially depending on your leverage. But CW, I want to show you exactly what's going on here. It's Inception style. And tell me what you think about this explanation, whether you think it's on the money or you think it's too complicated, because I'm interested to know what everybody thinks. So what's going on here is first, we're going to do this in the XRP USDT chart. We finally, so on May 26th of this year, we firmly held support. We held support on May 27th. We didn't have to come down here. We held it again on June 6th, but finally on June 10th, we broke down. Now we've yet to backtest. We've backtested the 20-day, but I'm saying I think we're going to backtest here. We might not. I'm not a financial advisor. Should you take my advice? No. But if you do, base it on what the charts are saying and nothing else. So let's say this holds and the backtest holds. Then we fall down to here to 35. That's our next drop, would be about 35 cents. So what I'm saying is you've got this, and then you would short it down. I think you're still in a short. We would short it down to here. And off of the broken ascending triangle. And that's about 9.77%. Now, it gets better than that if that breaks, but that's a 9.77% drop right there. On this chart, that's what we have to worry about. And that would be the next drop if this back test fails. But it looks to me like a bear flag, and it doesn't necessarily need to come all the way up here, and it makes me nervous that it's not going to make it all the way. In the 30-minute, it looks like it could, but in the 4-hourly, it doesn't have to. Would I be surprised? No. But that's a bear flag, and now the next, you know what it might happen? It might happen in the next candle, to be honest with you. And then you get the squeeze, and then the fake up, and then down. Possibly. But it could break before that. That's looking at it from a... Ooh, here we go. I want to see it break up in the 30-minute and have a fake out right now. Come up here. And, then everybody's like, well, what would your stop loss be? Well, it's dangerous because you're definitely playing the pattern to do this, to come up and then break down. It's a failed cup and handle right there. That's all it really is. So that's the explanation on this one. And then if you look at it on XRP and USDT, we busted out of the old ascending triangle. And look what right happened when it back tested it finally. Came down, came up, didn't come up all the way. And then it broke down. And now what we're looking at in the wider scope here, so I'm going to show you it. So now that we broke down here, we're looking to back test. We already did the back test. Now we did this. We're looking to come down. Oh, that's XLM. What the heck? I knew it looked weird. I was going to say I have a lot more on XRP. That looks so stupid. I was going to look to see what happened. Like, did I delete it? So we broke down the 30-minute time frame. We backtested the 20-day, but like Bitcoin, or like the other XRP chart, we haven't backtested the actual pattern break, the uptrending support. So we're trading. So I'm saying we come like this, we come up, come down, come up, and then we probably break down. You know, something like that. But it doesn't have to do that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking could happen. So if we hit this properly, you would short it at 38.7. We'll just say 38.7 area. And then you're not playing it to here. That's your first play if you want to get out. But the ultimate play is down here for 11.48%. Now, you certainly could wait for it to bust 37.6 to come down and back test. But this is an area right here where it's the ideal spot where it looks terrible on the charts. No volume. But I think it could blow right through this area, so it would be tough to do it. I think the ideal spot right now would be right here, and just let it ride. Yep, I definitely think that's a possibility, CW. Now, the only variable that could happen, because there's talks now, guys, and it's pretty interesting that this happened. They're talking about a 75. It finally happened. It's not confirmed. It's not even probably likely to happen. But they started to talk about 75 basis points. Like, some people think it's not as far-fetched now. And I talked about this. Son of a bitch. I talked about this a while ago. And if they ever do this, if they did this in June instead of 50, everything would crash. It would be the greatest day ever. See, Barclays is saying 75 basis points next week. Oh, look at this, guys. Is this true? The Federal Reserve will hike its benchmark interest rate by 75 basis points next week instead of the consensus 50 basis points move due to strong May consumer price index data that shows no sign that price pressures have peaked, said Jonathan Miller, senior U.S. economist at Barclays. Holy smokes! So if we get a 75 basis point rate hike, do you know what would happen? This would be XRP. 75 basis points. I'm not kidding. This is the risk asset. Every single thing that I am doing, it's not a coincidence that gold, silver, commodities, all were up today. 2, 3, 4, 6%. Commodities did fine today. The stock market, on the other hand, ended the week down 880 points. And companies like Fuel Cell, that is a risk, it's a risk stock for the most part. It's a hydrogen fuel cell battery plant. But they have so much debt. Like, look at their earnings. Once this comes through, just look at the earnings. You can see this busted pattern. This is a head and shoulders pattern. So clear as day, this is going to break down. And it's going to come under 288 on the next breakdown. And I have a $2 put option that I took out at almost $6, but I have it until the end of July. So if it hits $2 or lower, it's gonna be great. So Fuel Cell missed earnings. So it missed earnings by 46.94%. They projected 0.05 negative. They came in at negative 0.08, and their estimate revenue was a measly 32.578 million was the estimate. They missed it by 16.194 million, or 49.74%. Their actual revenue was 16.384 million. So if this pattern plays true, you're talking about this coming way down. And this is just, it's everything. Everything's calamitating right now. So with what I learned today from Barclays, I'm going to put in this short when I find the appropriate spot, and it's close. It's close. I just need this back test right here. I just need the back test right there. With XLM, it's ahead of XRP a little bit. But it's created essentially the exact same pattern as we had right here. It's created down here now. So, you know, you've got a little pattern that could be forming. Or this is going to bust really quickly and then it just comes down. I think it's going to be a nervous weekend. I think with a thinly traded weekend, I think this is all going to come down and at least retest the drop point lows. With XLM, it broke the pattern right here, and then it back tested it today. So what we're waiting on for XRP, it back tested it, and now you can see the bear flag possibly. So we're going to see what happens here, but that is not a good sign for XLM. It's technically holding some kind of weird bottom. There hasn't been a lot of sell pressure, so it might be waiting for the market to do its final correction, because Bitcoin, it's almost without exception that you come back up and retest these areas. But you see how we have it drawn in. If it got stuck here at resistance, then it would come down to here. Now it could come up to here or possibly here if it wanted to come all the way up. I don't know if it's necessarily going to do that. It could just stop at 29.5. It could stop at the 20-day here, but there's no volume really coming in. So it's going to have a push of volume here, but that is an engulfing candle, and there's still 22 minutes left. So there's plenty of time for it to do what it needs to do. I didn't show an exact price, but if the rate hike goes in 75 basis points, it's going way down. It's going to at least come down to 33, then it'll break that likely. But it's going to be one of those straight lines down, actually. Actually looking like a perfect bearish Gartley W to 3875 and down. Ooh. So you're seeing this. You're seeing something like, well, like that kind of. Now, and it'll turn it from a Gartley, as you called it. And then it'll turn into an M. No, it might not even go that high. It could do something like that, or it'll go up a little higher. But I see it as well. I like it from here, because you can get that weird W out of this on the 5-minute. And there's not a lot of sell volume. It does have a little more than the previous 5-minute candle, but it is pulling back up. It looks like it could pull this and try to do a cross back up just to get rejected at the 200, which would make perfect sense. This would make perfect sense, which is the weird thing. Yeah, Cyber, but I'll go back over XRP, don't you worry. I have a beautiful depiction of what's going on with XRP. So, yeah, that's what's going on, guys. I hope this helps. I hope it helped. I'm going to go get a drink of water. My throat is dry. I had the funeral and stuff today, so. But CW, I've been trying to show a lot more XRP, too, on these lives, because I know you're in a hefty short, and I want to do everything in my power to make sure that you can profit as much as possible. And if you were to have to get out, I wanted to tell you first off. But I hadn't seen any reason for you to concern. So every time you asked me, that's why I said I wouldn't sell it if I was you. I just keep holding it and deal with the pain early short term, as long as it's within your liquidation price. And you assured me it was. And now there's no reason, but from up here, you know, it was a little more cause for concern. But what did we say? We trust that ascending triangle support, and even if it broke there, you don't have anything to worry about until it broke that part. But we were confident it was going to get rejected here, and it did. I'm just very happy that it did, because I don't want to cost anybody money. But also with what I know, I also like to be able to put people in the right spot. Even though I'm not a financial advisor, I do what I can do. I do what I can do. Okay, appreciate the patience, everybody. Oops. I wanna show the XRP chart one more time, and then I'm gonna go check on my son. So, because I know we had a couple late people that didn't see exactly. So, XRP, this is the USDT chart, I believe. Yeah, USDT. So you can see we came back down and we proved a fake out. But you see the crashing volume. This is the one thing in the 30-minute. I mean, in the 3 hour and the 4 hour. You can go to any one. The 2 hour doesn't matter. Crashing volume, crashing price. Often signs of a reversal. Now, does that mean that wants to screw everybody over and maybe have one more push up? I don't know if it can get that high. But what I can tell you is oftentimes you would at least get a push up to that. At least that. Oh, yeah. I have that. I just haven't been able to get to anything on my Telegram today, Electro, because I was at the funeral and yesterday I was there late. But do you mind if I go pull that up with everybody on here in your Telegram?
Until 9:30. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, no problem, CW.
I love you. That was fun.
Sterling Ray X, I appreciate the gratitude. I'm assuming you're not going to care.
Take him in the room with you.
I need Witchy too. Where's Witchy? Oh. I kind of bit my tongue while I was eating it, but it's a good.
It was good.
It was super
Don't they freeze them?
It's not bad.
Okay, so the only reason I wanted to go in there is because I wanted to
Maybe we could.
share this, guys, with anybody who was... Remember the conversation Electro was talking to us about the other
I
day?
don't think I have enough lemon.
Are you not going to let me... It won't let me do it like that? Aww. Oh, there we go. Ha ha ha. So, that's the indicator, guys, right there. Copy that.
Maybe we can do it for a little bit.
That shows his dual indicator that he was talking about.
Because his birthday's next.
So, obviously, you can trust me. That's me. I'm the XRP Future Millionaire. Hey, CW500. I really appreciate the 500 bits. That means a lot to me. It does. I do all this. I don't charge anybody. But it always means a lot to me when people are donating and they understand time is money.
Okay.
Not even that time's money, but time's the most precious thing we have. Look at, guys. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to be doing some breaking news. Some breaking news on the YouTube channel when I close this. Because if it really does a 75 basis point rate hike, I'm telling you guys. So, hard to see what price will it hunt. We'll see. So here's how you break this down, guys. So if this comes through here, and this is why I have it like this for the late people. Crashing price, crashing volume, which means it's a perfect setup to not only come to the 20-day, that's the 30-minute. So I'd rather do it like this. So it's a good setup here, but the 30-minute, the crashing volume, it's a good setup to come at least here. Now, does it have enough with what we've seen to come through and retest about right here? It's possible, which is why I never like to buy here if I don't have to. And I like to buy when it finally comes up here, right here, right? Because then if it comes up, back test it, then it might come up to here, or it's got to finish this pattern because it's going to come out to maybe completion. So as of right now, this is nothing more than a fake out because it's still within the daily candle. Now, in the shorter time frames, if it breaks through or the daily candle closes, it's not a fake out. We close under the pattern. But right now, we have not. So we have to be very careful. We had the wick here that pulled up and then it started. But see how tricky that is because it had a big pullback and then it just immediately dropped off. So what I'm saying is let's wait for the pullback to where it actually hits the ascending triangle. If that's something we want to buy. Because if it breaks that, and then backtest this properly, you've got a beautifully tailor-made short from there all the way down to here, which is about 10%. And that's just this first area, but it's not actually 35 cents. That's what I want everybody to realize. Yeah, that's the area of the uptrend. But the moment it breaks that uptrend, you've got true double bottom support. So I would be willing to bet that even if that uptrend held, this double bottom, at least a wick or something at 33.6 is hitting. And I would be willing to bet it if it comes down there. That's why a back test here properly, and buying this like you should, properly to short something if it gets rejected. It's not just a 9.6 or 10% short. It's actually more like a fucking 13.42% short because it's going to wick down to at least there. And then it would be, is it a fake wick or is it going to just bounce in here and then come down? You would know because if it comes up here, then you know it's coming all the way back up, then coming down. So it's either this, or this. That's how it works. But first, we got to come here and prove that rejection to come to either there or there. Then you got those points. And then if you bring it out and you're like, okay, well, it breaks both of those, then what happens, Tom? Well, then what happens is a miracle. Our ascending triangle will likely play out because then, let's say it broke down here, then you got to come here and likely play this. Or it can be a quick. Oh, it would be so great. But we've got to break that double bottom, but we're in a beautiful position here. Beautiful position because we understand the market. So, what do you guys think? What do you think about that breakdown? And that's just on XRP on the USD chart. I mean the USDT. If we bring it on the USD chart, then you can see the longer term pattern going all the way back here to March of 2020. It held on March of 2020, held on January 2021, hit resistance and hit the resistance and held on 2021. Resistance hold November of 2021. Support hold May 2022. Now if we break this, that's what I'm saying. We're going to have to come back down here and prove that it's support. Because otherwise, if we break it, then it comes way down. If we hold it, then you would simply long it back up to here. If it comes all the way up there. But that's the thing. If it holds this, there is a distinct possibility that it could come up to the pattern. And if it holds it here again, this pattern's been confirmed on a hold that it would in fact likely come up there. That's 80 fucking cents. So how long would it take to do that? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But that's, but I would like to see it hold here first because then you would obviously be able to long it. I mean, I'm not even saying it goes way up there because likely what would happen, and I don't want to rain on anybody's parade and be like, okay, well, it's not going to go up 9 billion% for XRP. But likely what happened, guys, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It would come down, and if it held here, it would likely get rejected here. But if it came through here, that's when you could have something big. But 52 to me is the likely end game here. This would be the likely end game. I think 52 cents. So I think it could get a hit up here. And the reason I say that is because if you do it like this from 52 and you do it in a slightly descending fashion, it ends up having it like that. But I think 52 cents for other reasons. It's a drop point retest. That's my biggest reason. That's a drop point retest here. And that would only happen if it doesn't break down all the way through here. Because then you could have one of these, like it comes down, and then it's a back test, and then you start having some weird motions. But then you could also see if it comes up here and back test and held 52 or whatever, then you'd come up here. That's how that could happen. So, a lot of stuff to digest, everybody. I hope this information helps. I'm going to go check on my son, and then we're going to break this down for the end of the class episode. It's been on for 45 minutes. No problem, Michael. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to show everybody, and I'm trying to be more spontaneous on the way my charts are. Mass Spaghetti, just saying hi, guys. Been drinking Crown all afternoon. Hi, and my hometown Celtics are about to kick off. Just checking in. Yeah, I love that I have a lot of Celtics fans in the audience. Although I don't watch the NBA as much as I used to. And I do like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And obviously Jordan Poole went to Michigan. I would like to see Jason Tatum and what the hell's his name? God, I know them all too, and I'm having a brain fart. Waylon, thanks for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that. That is so generous of you. I have a generous audience base, I'll tell you that much. I really do. I appreciate that, Waylon. No problem, CW. Axis, have a good night. I'm still going to be on for a couple minutes. I just got to go check my son real quick. Tomorrow, I'm in an already 10x XRP trade, target 33, stop loss 41.6. Okay, let's see where 41.6 is, and then I don't mind 41.6 because in the 4-hour 20-day, it's right here at about 39.6. So where you have it, it's breaking back over this area, and then it's proving that it can carry on. So I don't hate that at all. Because that would have a long way to come back through. It'd have to hit 2 crucial resistance areas now. Hold on, I'll be right back. Be right back. Oh, yeah. Have you just been sitting out here? Oh. What you doing, Bucket? right, guys and gals, I apologize. I gotta help put my son to bed, but I really wanted to show. I mean, did you guys get information that you needed tonight? Like, I was trying to show so you would understand exactly where to short the market and exactly what you're looking at and the layers we're looking at. And then the reasons why we do it the way we do it. Just, you can't just jump in, even if it seems like the greatest thing in the world. You've seen since this show started today, had we have gone into a short right away, it's proceeded to go up already, and it's working its way back. So we really want to, man. Because it broke over this immediate short-term one already. So, hey, Salamander, welcome in. BitTrue XRP wick up to 3882 about 5 minutes ago. Does that change any thinking on one damage? No. Not for me. Because I need to see it on my chart. I need to see the XRP, not the exchange chart. Like, that's why I have the USD chart with XRP next to the USDT, just to see if any funny business happens. But it could be ahead. Because this 5 minute time frame looks like, I really think we could come up a little bit. So, but it's been an honor and a privilege tonight in class. Episode, I believe it was 143. But we'll be back tomorrow, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to thank each and every one of you. I know it wasn't a super long class, but we got a real nice class tonight, episode. But I'm a little tired. I'm mentally drained from the funeral. But I'm proud that we were able to expand and do what we had to do. And we went over 400 followers today, which is incredible. Have a good night, Redwire. Peace out, everybody.